So the whole point of me making this YouTube channel is just to show the younger car enthusiasts that you can still have a fun and dependable vehicle that you actually take pride in. I'm also going to show you some of the mistakes that I've made in the past that have led me to the situation I'm in right now with this thing. So as you already know, I broke the old school 350 that was in it. Completely user error. The whole point of the next couple of videos I'm about to make is to show you how to avoid all of those things and maybe give you some preventative measures so that you won't have to go through the same thing that I did. Because in a budget build, like especially like this, you really don't want any unexpected expenses like, I don't know, $2,500 for a bottom end. So like I said in my last video, today we're just gonna tear it down and see what it do. So I'm not really sure what happened, but I'm pretty sure a rod is bent. But I still don't really know exactly why the rod bent in the first place. And I have a strong feeling that water got in the cylinder, but I don't really know exactly why the water got in the cylinder. It could be a head gasket, could be a cracked head from the overheating. So let's find out. Alright, so next stop is the intake manifold. Looks like this is the first warning sign. I'm getting some milky-ish substance on this bolt, this intake manifold bolt. It's not supposed to look like that. In that same next to last hole, it's got milky oil. And this is on the side that I'm having the issues with. Moment of truth. Let's see what we get. Thinking it's gonna be white and milky under here. And I forgot how insanely heavy a cast iron intake manifold is. So let's get these off. I don't see any visual cracks on the outside at all. Green fluid down in there. There's a lot of carbon buildup. The engine only ran for, I don't know, maybe 1,000 miles. It didn't even make it to its first oil change, so I don't know exactly why it's so much carbon down in there, but I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to pull the cylinder heads off and see what it do. I thought the problem would be apparent by now, but I guess I'm really gonna have to tear it down all the way. And now the head bolt, or one of the head bolts this way, at the very back of the cylinder head, sort of close to where the other bolt came out of, also has some nasty, milky, white substance on it. And I don't think it came up here in any way, because this shouldn't be going into a water jacket or anything. That should be the one on the outside. So it's definitely mixed in with all of the oil and then found itself settling on top. Right in here with the head of the bolt. And of course, coolant is going to be everywhere. Sorry, you know what? Getting in there. I'm hoping this helps someone learn from their mistakes. They see me messing up. That's the whole idea. Thanks. I'm thinking it will be a pool.
Photographer / assistant.
More.
A lot more.
I'm not sure if that's from when I just took the head off and it poured some out.
Oh.
It usually pours out right here because that's where the bolts go right in. It's right through here, and that's a coolant passage right there. So I'm thinking I might have taken this out and then water somehow got right there. But other than that, right in there.
Oh yeah.
And some in the number 8 cylinder, I believe. And I don't think that's from me taking this cylinder head off. I really think that's from the head gasket being faulty after that overheating incident. So the real telltale is probably to take the other side off too, but I think this is pretty, close to it. Because when we first took this thing apart, it didn't have that. when I first took apart this whole motor and took apart, you know, the cylinder heads, it didn't have anything in here. I didn't spill.
No coolant.
Yeah, no coolant in here. You know, but we didn't check the cylinder head yet.
This guy right here is more moist overall. But this cylinder, and this cylinder are dry.
But I remember a long time ago seeing water in this one right here. Of course, there's no water in there now. I got everything apart now. As you can already see, that is where the water jacket is. So if I take this off just the right way, then nothing should be pouring into the cylinder at all. Okay. Then that was me. One more thing that we can really check. Now you see, I thought it was my fault at first. The fact that, you know, there's coolant sitting right here in the cylinder. I thought maybe when I was taking the cylinder head off, it poured somehow right over the edge and into here. You probably can't really tell, but the truck is on a hill. So everything in the water jacket is pouring up to the front. And that's where all the coolant is spilling out of. Notice, nothing is spilling out the back cylinders at all. So if nothing is spilling out the back cylinder's water jacket area, then how is there coolant in these cylinders? That's water. This really doesn't explain the bent rod at all, but this helps my case with the fact that these cylinder heads are probably cracked in places that I'll probably never be able to see, because that's definitely oil, and a lot of it. And there's no reason for that to be trailing out of there at all, because it's not trailing out of any other cylinder. I mean, yeah, of course it's coming out right there, but notice there's no way for it to get into here from the other side, you know, through the valve, because that's tight. And notice I didn't spill any on the outside to make it come right there. And notice it didn't trail in from the outside at all. It had to have trailed in from the inside, or else you'd be able to see a slime trail where it originated. So I'm still not really sure about what really happened to the truck in the first place. I know it was heat. Yeah, of course, that's an obvious. But I still didn't see an actual crack anywhere in anything. So I don't know if it'll take professional hands to take a look at that, but I didn't see anything. What I do know, and what I do notice, is that when I had iron heads, I could overheat the thing to 210, 220 for minutes at a time, and it's okay, and it would rock and roll just fine. I'm thinking it's the fact that they're aluminum heads that I put on there, and I really don't think they like that much heat, and that's why something cracked, and that's why there's a fine little split somewhere in the system, and now it's dripping coolant down into the cylinder, and that's what bent my rod, and that's what's making the knocking noise, and that's what's making me upset. The whole weak link behind the small black Chevy is the heat and the connecting rod. So in my next video, I'm going to show you some of those preventative measures that I'm going to take so that this never happens again. So basically all that's going to consist of is a whole new cooling system for the Chevy truck. I already have a really good water pump, a good mechanical fan. I'm going to put an electric pusher fan on the outside of the radiator for when I'm standing still. And I'm also going to be adding a whole new radiator altogether. And I will be installing that next video. Thanks for watching.